Hi, friends. Welcome to Think Out Loud with me, a chatcast produced, hosted, and humbly offered by yours truly, Natalie Peterson. From my neck of the woods to you in yours, I'm feeling compelled to continue with my fine print at the beginning of this while I'm still new to all this. This podcast, this chatcast, is my big, hairy, audacious, quit giving a shit effort to turn years of chatter and wondering and silent suffering and physical and mental close calls into what I hope is constructive and enlightening conversation with others. I am taking full advantage of the universally accepted, irrevocable license to be curious. We all hold that, by the way. Every single one of us hold that license. And I'm hoping that in my own search for connection and community and congruence, that I might help you find your voice and ignite your curiosity, nudge you just a bit in your own favor. I would like that. I would like that a hell of a lot. Time is our most valuable asset, and your sharing minutes and moments with me in my space is a tremendous honor. I am not a licensed therapist, psychologist, or psychiatrist. I personally find therapy with educated practitioners very beneficial for my mental and physical health. I come prepared with referrals and ask that we all work to support one another with healthy and helpful boundaries set and honored. On the topic of format, I am a very happy and loving guest and host by nature. I am also a very lively, emotion-full human. My ability to connect with others in conversation comes in spurts of creativity and vulnerability, and a lot of times it means snot running down my face. Frankly, being human and real and authentic and willing to discuss personal details, pretty heavy subject matter is something that helps me connect with others. And I won't be censoring the fuckheads and fuckerdoodles and shithead assholes in the conversations as they come out. The connection is what matters, and I hope that everyone will fixate on that. Hey, so this podcast is done remotely, and I am a work in progress, sitting in my basement, connecting off of shared Wi-Fi with others in remote settings, which means the sounds you hear may include an interesting mix of different audio interruptions. Grace and patience, my people, thank you. And so with that, let's go. Let's dive in. Let's get hitting and find an amazing human to think out loud with. You are tuning into episode 2, and like all good starts to great relationships go, I would like to set some intentions. But I don't know how anybody can set intentions right now when the whole world is going fucking mad. I just read an idea, though, I'm going to throw out there. Lower the volume on the noise and raise the tempo of what's meant to be yours. Something to think about. Truth is, though, there is no more important time than now, in my opinion, amidst all the chaos of change and the disruption of norms and the frickin' crazy town that we're calling life on planet Earth right now. There is no better time to discover and uncover and ignite and reignite and just dig deep to fully engage what our intentions are on this planet. Working within and going within and establishing our own truths and connecting from that space in with others in the community from a place of congruence, without hidden agendas or conditional, conditions placed on any of it. That's what's going to help us get through this, through the heavy of our current day. That's what I believe. Living intentionally is going to help us support our own selves, support our family and our closest community, and the planet, the earth underneath our feet. Little foo-foo, she, I'm not going to apologize for it. There's many ways of setting intentions I'm personally keen on sharing one concept in particular. The concept is thousands of years old. It's been in books and on the planet for however many thousands of years. A number of my closest friends are going to recognize a lot of what I'm sharing right now from notes I've shared with them and things I've written to them. But basically, this formula for achieving success that I've tried to boil my own day down to, simply explained, to achieve success in anything, my life and the choices that I make follow a formula. And the formula is be, do, have. There's a fourth one I'm working on, give, that I'm going to table for now. But be, do, have. To be is to embody everything that is a manifestation of one's desire. To be is to exist in the perfect space you inhabit with your perfect life's essence, right? If it's, in every single one of us, it's this ball of perfect energy. And to be is to embody that perfect energy without the layers. I personally want to be a provider, a partner. I want to be a student. I want to be a light worker. I want to be a sister. As I strive to become these and more, I become a magnet for the things that my heart desires. Connection. In my case, I am a fiend for connection through communication. And the communication, its ability to create positive change. It's in communication that we give words to love, to pain, we give light to shadows, and we uplift those around us, or we don't. I want to be a connector. I want to be a communicator. And when I allow myself to be in that place and open myself up to be a communicator and a connector, what I must do shows itself. I'm not saying, that there's like this big aha. I don't mean to boil this down to something that just happens overnight. I'm doing this all to just create this working theory with you all. There's going to be planning and there's going to be careful thought. That's the journey in front of us, right? But in this place of being and actually digging deep to a place, you're creating a filter, right? Brands do this. They go through a whole series of trying to figure out who the hell they are. This is no different. How do you approach anything? There's a color and a hue and a tint that makes you you. And if we can boil ourselves down to that, the tone, the hue and the tint that other things take, they present themselves to me. The things that I'm supposed to see and do, the hard things and the good things. My choices and my decisions are then decided by my heart and my passion. It doesn't matter what the circumstances might be. If it's tough or if it's easy, it's not what someone else is envisioning for me. When I come from a place of what I'm meant to be, my obligations are gone. I'm not trying to meet someone else's role for me. The only role that I am being is myself. And so that then creates an opportunity for me to study and practice and give time to and ask for help and be vulnerable in and take risks and let go of my ego and ask hard questions and consider others and be willing to succeed, be willing to fall flat on my face. It's from that space that I have the strength to sit through seriously uncomfortable emotions and bring light to some of my self-limiting beliefs and trauma that's been stored in my body and passed down through generational trauma. It's in this being where radical trust happens. And all of this happens within a framework, right, of who we aim to be. From being, we're happy doing without expectations of rewards. We aren't expecting anything in return when we are coming from a place of our true selves. I simply, when I am coming from a place of my true self, I simply love the act of doing what I am doing. You can fill in the blank. In fact, what others often see me doing it as, they see as work, I'm the one that's on top of the stinking RV out in the parking lot, screaming at the top of my lungs, having fun because it's fun, it's euphoric, whatever the case. Even when the sky is falling and shit is hitting the fan, I find myself positively connecting and doing more freely and readily to serve others through highly energetic exchanges, no matter what the circumstances are, whether we're under pressure or not. I do better when I am being. And that continues to show up for me regularly, to the point where I will sob in relief, no matter what the circumstances in. I am so freaking grateful for the connection and the ability to finally be who I'm supposed to be, because it's in being that I realize I will do, and I'm going to reach my greatest potential. And I have no hesitation to face the obstacles, whether they're real or perceived. There's the things standing in my way of having my desires manifest and having joy in my life. From a place of being, the road is clear. I am rewarded with the love that I find and the connection that I find. That's my truth. This simple equation for life, however hard I just butchered it, and old, and it's tried and true. It was to my sweet soul sister, Andy Burgess, the only way to roll in life. It was kind of her way of being. And she was a coach and an educator. A lot of folks listening will recognize her name. She used what's called equine experiential learning to connect humans with horse teachers through just incredible groundwork. She was just an angel. The therapy and the guidance that she was able to help translate from horses, just absolutely mind-blowing. Andy passed away a year ago, in May of 2021, from a battle with cancer, entirely too soon. But having influenced my journey and many folks' journeys in unspeakable ways. So Andy was a professional coach and speaker with Vistage. I don't know, you all might know that name, a business group my CEO and I belonged to. This is ages ago. She gave a keynote at a monthly group meeting. And when I met her, man, I latched onto her, latched onto her leg like I'd been known to do with just really smart folks. And I said, you got to give me what you got. And she tapped into something in me energetically that told me at my core that I needed her guidance and spirit in my life. When she first laid eyes on me as a young, pretty cocky, but spastically unsure VP trying to help run a promotions agency in Los Angeles in the early, what was that, 2000s, Cody, 2010s. Andy saw a woman in, if I think back to then, just a mounting pile of drama. I was doing according to some definition of success, having the title, the car, the contacts, the parties, the gossip, the money, the details of an expanding list of obligations, everything from debt to DUI and drama and disease, cancer, but let's party. This all means I'm alive, right? This is living. As long as I'm able to party and keep having fun, I think that's what I'm having. I think as long as the charcuterie board is perfect and the white wine is chilled, I'm in order. never mind that under all of this, I am completely wackadoo and on my way to burn the fuck out. And the do have be order of my life, with which, it dictated everything. And my life was a train wreck in the making. I was putting so much emphasis on making what I had more important than who I was. I thought I'd find myself in what I had, from my, surroundings to my marriage to just everything. In the do have be order, being successful means having by way of achieving money, title, recognition, and rewards. Thus, I was found doing anything and everything I thought would help me have the life I saw as ideal. I'm just reading some of my notes. The problem is that while many of the actions I took were necessary, and freaking right as rain. My determination to have my child, I was unstoppable, right? Our child, David's and my child, Cody, that was an action I took very deliberately. Much of what I did, though, I'm going to be honest, you guys, it wasn't genuine. I wasn't coming from a place of love. I was coming from a place of inferiority and insecurity. It doesn't mean that I'm not blessed with love and light. Oh my gosh, my relationships and experiences I had during that time, I wouldn't change for anything. I would not change any single solitary thing. It is all perfect. It is where you are at, where I am at is perfect. But honestly, folks, or, Tallahassee, as Ted Lasso would say, my end had become more important to me than my own heart and who I was in the moment and who I wanted to even be as a fucking human. I had become a human doing rather than a human being. And it was hard to be me. It was hard to be with me. You can ask my ex-husband. There were times when it was hard to know me. I made an ass of myself sometimes, and I put some folks in pretty awkward situations. I used people, and I allowed myself to be used. What I had felt pretty fucking empty. And I was pretty convinced until very recently in my 47 years on this planet that it certainly was all my fault, or at least it was, I think my line goes, it's meant to be like, this is testimony to my character, right? I am, after all, that doesn't even make any sense. I lost my train of thought. Because at the end of the day, it's funny because the voice just popped in, and it's what happens, right, guys? That there's a possibility that you're a fraud. Scared of being found out. That I don't actually know what the fuck I'm doing. That's deep, but it's all true. It's my truth. And I'm still working on rearranging my daily focus to fully embrace my human beingness. Andy's gone, but she's with me daily. She struggled, like all of us, to be who she was called to be. Self-doubt and worry sometimes clouded her day. Her family of horses were her confidants, but she also let a few of us humans in. And I know I can still hear her. I actually finally listened to an old voice message from her, and yeah, confirmed. I've got her voice pretty dead on. So with her kind of fueling me, and as absolute fucking mayhem ends, she's like, I know it. One fucking mayhem ends, another round of mayhem unfolds, the likes of which I can't even comprehend at this moment enough to comment on. Let's move on with some options on how to handle all of this crazy. Option A, have, do, be. In this model, we wait for externals to change before we move on. And we basically sass and we frass at every single solitary thing around us for everything not happening. We live in a state of feeling attacked, feeling like we can't get anything right. We find ourselves judging ourselves and smarting, and we game and we try and one up. There's have, do, be is about scorekeeping, trying to win a game of Twister, with everything from obligations to contracts to criticisms and warranties running out just a few days before you need them. Basically, have, do, be is the model that when I have enough time, money, and support, a different living situation or a marriage or whatever is up in my craw, then I'll do the things I've always wanted to, and then I'll be happy, and then I'll be successful. So the problem is I don't have yet. Once that happens, I will have it, and then I am off and running, and I sit and I stew. If I had what he had or what she had or what they had, I'd be cool. I'd certainly be as successful as all them, but I don't, so I'm not. And so here I sit, and so yeah, you get it. Model 2, do, have, be. I manifested my most recent professional experience using this exact order, and it kicked my ass. I really positive, high vibed my way into paralysis emotionally and physically. And in the process of doing and having shoved my being down to a piece of chewed up gum under the backside of an old school desk. Anyway, do, have, be, you're often a doormat for others. Hey, I actually answer to the call sometimes. It depends on my mood. But this human will say, and I've been known to say, the more I do, the more I'll have. The more I'll have, the happier I'll be. The problem is, and I got to read this because this is where it is. It's poetic, and it's like, because it is the choppy chop, right? The problem is, the more I do, the more there is still to do. And the more I have, the more there is still to have. I am defined by what I do, so I become driven, busy, and tired. The more I have, the more there is to lose, so the harder I work. So we all know that the link, or at least I think we know, we say we understand the link between having more things and being happier is a myth. And it's not going to work, the ones of us where it actually does happen. We think, oh, we're not going to be the ones where I have all this shit and I'm so freaking happy. No, a lot of times, the more shit, it means burnout, stagnation, resentment, exhaustion. There's a lot in the works, and that's without, Jesus, criminy fucking women's rights being stripped away, and the daily pressures of whatever the frick is happening in this, I don't know, are we pre-apocalyptic political pissing match on the world stage you've got going on? If you sit still, you're losing your mind. In both the have, do, be and the do, have, be scenarios, life happens to us. It's only in realizing that life happens for us that the opportunity to be, do, have unfolds. And so that's the third option, be, do, have. It is not what do I need to have before I can start, or what work do I need or have or want to do, but who do I want to be? And being is indeed easy. It's a flow state. It doesn't have a label or an association with anything. It doesn't have any emotion. There's no judgment. It is a fully balanced state of energy, of giving, receiving, and being. It is the definition of easy. And being in what some call a flow state or a zone, It matters not what's going around. This is, I'm speaking out of my own experience. It doesn't matter what's going on around me. If I'm in what is a flow state or a zone, the natural space and pace of me rolls out in front of me naturally. And then the doing takes place naturally out of the ends of my fingers. And then the having takes care of itself on the backside of that. Now we're thinking out loud. And I need people to think with. Otherwise, we're going to die listening to me. So yeah, like many of my peeps out there, I've experienced the onset of, okay, yeah, it's self-diagnosed, but bear with me. It's dang near ADHD. I don't know what it is. I can't sit still. I can't focus on anything longer than 9-10 minutes max. We've been going for 25 and I'm antsy as hell. My foot's asleep. And I've got to pee, but think out loud with me has me feeling pretty grounded. It's the closest to me being I've ever been. And here's why. I'm not doing anything right. In fact, I am refusing to follow the rules. Hell, it's Thursday, and I had to change my stinking little cute little marketing thing. Who the fuck cares? I don't care. I have plans to wear my Girl Scout uniform. I've got plans for stunts. Who the hell knows? You know, I mean, wake up one morning and Roe v. Wade shit show has plenty of ideas percolating, guys. Anyway, I'm fired up for what's in store, especially now that I've got some folks thinking out loud with me. I've got mental health matters at the top of my priorities, starting with the state of my own local scene. I don't know if you all know this, but I helped with a sales tax initiative several years ago that ended up passing here in Larimer County. And the building that's coming up out of the ground just south of me here is the result of a lot of people in passion and purpose. And I'm really excited to reconnect with a few folks and help light some fires. I'm prepared to share out loud my own realities with mental health and learn with folks through continued conversation. This isn't about being right. That's not what I'm seeking. It's about being vocal. I think that it's our ability to connect as humans through speech and through written and performed expression. That is what makes us. That is our essence. That is human interaction. That is our magic. That is, we must keep talking respectfully and awkwardly and uncomfortably and through it all, through the hard stuff and the good stuff. We have to keep talking. I also want to kick off a conversation about physical wellness. I have Dr. Ryan, my chiropractor, on the alert to kind of recreate one of his workshops on the wellness illness spectrum that clicked in my brain during recent therapy. I spent multiple days a week with these folks getting adjusted and aligned and actually writing kind of several of these little campaigns that have been rolling out. Dr. Ryan just helped me break free of a lot of jumbled up shit that had found its way into my jaw and my neck and my shoulders and spine. And well, you all know it. Alternative approaches too are on my list to healing, like mind, body, spirit release, MBSR. I also want to talk about Reiki and energy clearings. They're all a part of my own cocktail that I'd love to pour for others. I've got vitamins and supplements. I've even, back to Reiki, I've even a new angel I want to introduce eventually who has the gift of partnering with horses in Reiki therapy. That story will blow your mind. I've got a brother and sister-in-law, my ex-husband's brother and his sister. I've got them on my mind. They've gone through their own transformation. Anyway, my initial response from just one hello has been super encouraging and overwhelming, and there's a lot of conversation to be had. I had a number of questions, obviously, because I did this on a Sunday night all backwards. I had no answers, no plan. But here is a few questions answered. Who's this for? Humans, soul sisters, brothers, doers wanting to be humans, havers wanting to just be, anyone feeling stuck or sensitive about the patch of life they're in. You can find a friend in this chat cast. I've been there. I still go there. I'm not going to love and light you every single day. I have a wonderful relationship with my partner where I can go safely, and I try and do the same for him. Perhaps you don't have that, or perhaps you don't have it at that moment. I'd love to be that for you, and you have me. You need oxygen to breathe. And if this serves as a bit of O2, me time for you to take a break and listen to me rattle on about, depending on the day, my midlife crisis or my midlife celebration, that is awesome. What will you learn? What will you take away? A nudge, a squeeze, and proof that you're human. You can freaking laugh at me if you want to. If I truly am meant to be this person, live this out loud, that means that there's a sphere of folks I call my people. And guess what? You have been activated too. And you are on notice. If you're not in the mood, don't listen. I may have rough spots and spotty service and parts unknown. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not trying to get this perfect. I'd like to eventually get to a point where this is live and I can patch folks in for quick gatherings of wits. We'll see. Someone asked me last week if I ever get sick of all the analyzing and all the self-discussion and inventory and all the crap that I talk about. And if she wondered, do you ever just want to be? Don't you just want to be? Don't you just want to shut it off and be? And I can tell her now that that's what I'm after. And I am confidently on the path towards exactly that. Being of service, lifting others up, creating celebrations and taglines and hashtags around love and hope and positive, uplifting community. That's me. I'm like a top performing TSA super agent. That is a top performing transplanetary self-actualizing super agent. And as a good TSA agent does, I'm seeing shit, so I'm saying shit. I do. I hope you'll join me. This is all a total, absolute 100% experiment. No obligation to join me. I hope you do. I have no idea what I'm doing. I do, and the universe is going to conspire to support me. I have no idea what I'm doing. That's the fun part. It is the fun part, and I aim to have fun here with you, and I will tune out for now, wrapping arms around you in a heartfelt squeeze. Thanks for your friendship, appreciation. I will be signing off.